Welcome to the 2024 Awards Ceremony of the Royal Society of Canada. My name is Gary Libin, and I am Secretary of the Royal Society of Canada. It's a great pleasure for me to recognize and honor with you the extraordinary achievements of 20 medal and award winners that are here today. I would also like to acknowledge and honor the recipients who are not in attendance and encourage you to learn more about their outstanding contributions by reviewing the RSC website, the annual report, or by viewing their video on the RSC social channels. C'est un grand plaisir pour moi de reconnaître et d'honorer avec vous des réalisations extraordinaires de 20 lauréats de médailles et de prix qui sont ici aujourd'hui. Je voudrais également saluer et honorer les récipiendaires qui ne sont pas présents et vous encourager à en savoir plus sur leurs contributions exceptionnelles en consultant le site web de la SRC, le rapport annuel ou en visionnant leurs vidéos sur les réseaux sociaux de la SRC. Before we proceed, I would like to invite Carleton University's Vice President Research and International, Dr. Rafiq Gubran, to deliver some remarks. Dr. Gubran.
Good afternoon, everyone. C'est un plaisir d'être avec vous aujourd'hui. It's my absolute pleasure to be here today to represent Carleton University as we celebrate outstanding scholarly achievements from across disciplines and generations. We're delighted to have a long-standing and sustained partnership with the Royal Society of Canada, including serving as the co-host for the Celebration of Excellence and Engagement that happened in Ottawa in 2019. What is so impressive about those we are honoring today is the diversity of their fields of pursuit. Today, we will honor a geologist, 2 historians, a mathematician, an engineer, a philosopher, a medical historian, and a physicist. And that's only a very partial list. Perhaps even more impressive is that these honorees pursue excellence from across multiple generations. We will honor graduates from each of Canada's law schools, as well as 3 of the most promising scholars entering a career in research in the postdoctoral. Carleton's commitment to research excellence and supporting emerging and established scholars in multiple domains is well established. As Vice President, Research and International at Carleton University, I am proud of today's recognition of distinguished Research Professor Emerita Rianne Mahon. Congratulations, Professor Mahon. I am equally pleased to celebrate the recognition of Chancellor Professor Leonore Farrig being honored for her remarkable contributions to biological science. Chancellor Professor Joanne Lefebvre and Professor Sarah Castile's election as Royal Society of Canada Fellows, and Canada Research Chair Maria Rogers being named to the College of New Scholars. These Carleton faculty members are well deserving of their honor, given the significant impact they each have made in their respective fields of study. Again, it's my pleasure to be here today with you to observe the ceremony and awards given to all of the deserving scholars. And in closing, congratulations to all of the recipients here today, and thank you for having me. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Gubran. Accompanying me on the stage is RSC President Alain G. Gagnon, who will be presenting the awards after each honoree delivers brief remarks. Je profite de l'occasion pour remercier tous les membres de la SRC qui siègent au sein des comités de sélection, ainsi que ceux et celles qui ont proposé des candidatures pour les différents prix. I would also like to take the opportunity to acknowledge that much of the work of Simon Fraser University takes place on the unceded traditional territories, including the Squamish, Tsleil-Waututh, and Musqueam. Le premier prix qui sera remis cet après-midi est le prix Alice Wilson. The Alice Wilson Award was established by the RSC in 1991 to honor the memory of Dr. Alice Evelyn Wilson, FRSC, a pioneering Canadian geologist and the first woman inducted into the Royal Society of Canada in 1938. This award is given to 3 women of outstanding academic qualifications in the arts and humanities, social sciences or sciences, entering a career in scholarship or research at the postdoctoral level. The winner of the Alice Wilson Award in the disciplines associated with the Canadian Institutes for Health Research is Dr. Anne de Chalit of the University of Windsor. Dr. de Chalit's postdoctoral research considers the political and media rhetoric framing of Canada's Safer Supply Programming, a harm reduction measure that responds to rising rates of overdose and death from the unregulated toxic drug supply. Le projet explore les impacts sur une rhétorique mal informée sur la mise en œuvre du programme et la sécurité des utilisateurs et des travailleurs du domaine. Le projet est supervisé par le professeur Adrian Gutta, professeur agrégé à la School of Social Work de la University of Windsor. Anne de Chalit.
Thank you so much. Thank you to the Royal Society of Canada and to Alice Wilson and her family, to my supervisor, Adrian Gutta, and also to my family. Thank you so much.
La gagnante du prix Alice Wilson dans les disciplines associées avec le Conseil de recherche en sciences naturelles et en génie du Canada est Eman Resk de la University of Waterloo. Eman Resk. Eman Resk is an NSERC postdoctoral fellow at the Faculty of Engineering, University of Waterloo. Iman obtained her PhD in computational science and engineering from McMaster University. Ses recherches portent sur l'interface entre l'intelligence artificielle et les soins de santé. Iman's work created a new research thrust on equitable skin cancer diagnosis, harnessing the power of artificial intelligence to address the lack of racial data diversity. Eman Resk.
Thank you so much. Actually, I'm deeply honored to be here today to receive this award. It means a lot to me. Thank you, the Royal Society of Canada. Thanks to my supervisors, my collaborators. Thank you so much.
The Anne Bancroft Award was created in 1968 for instruction and research in the science of geology. Ce prix récompense l'enseignement de la recherche en sciences géologiques en honneur de Joseph Austin Bancroft. The award is given for publication, instruction, and research in the earth sciences that have conspicuously contributed to public understanding and appreciation of the subject. The winner of the 2024 Bancroft Award is Dr. Kurt Konhauser of the University of Alberta. Kurt Konhauser est une figure de proue dans le domaine de la géobiologie. The central theme running through his research is the recognition that life shapes the environment to the same degree that environmental change drives the spatial and temporal distribution of life. Through his active promotion of the field, which includes writing the textbook Introduction to Geomicrobiology, assuming the role of editor-in-chief of the journal Geobiology, and founding of the Geobiology Society, it has matured into a prolific research frontier. Kurt Konhauser.
My name is Kurt Konhauser. I'm a professor of geobiology in the Department of Earth and Atmospheric Sciences here at the University of Alberta. I'm truly thrilled and deeply honored to be the recipient of the 2024 Bancroft Award. My field studies the interaction of life with the environment through time. So I work both on modern and rocks that are 3 billion years old. For example, in the modern, I look at how organisms bind to metals, how they form new minerals, how they weather existing minerals, and how they ultimately cycle elements on various spatial scales. I also work in deep time, looking at rocks that are very ancient and trying to understand something about the coevolution of life in the environment. Two things I love about my research. One is the thrill of discovery, which can happen at any given point in time, whether it's just having a coffee with a colleague, talking about data with my students, and never knowing when that moment comes where you're suddenly able to connect some of the dots. The second thing I love is just being around my students. It's mentorship. It's the thrill of watching them arrive here with little knowledge, develop lab skills, teach them how to write a scientific paper, and eventually they graduate and move on to bigger and better things. It's being part of the process and knowing that in some way you've actually been able to help them along their career path. That's what I find very satisfying.
Kurt Konhauser. La médaille Inès Gérin a été créée en 1966 pour honorer l'historien de l'économie Harold A. Innis, MRSC, et le sociologue Léon Gérin, MRSC, qui furent respectivement présidents de la SRC. La médaille est attribuée à une personne dont l'œuvre constitue un apport éminent et soutenu en sciences sociales, y compris la géographie humaine et la psychologie sociale. Le gagnant de la médaille Inès Gérin en 2024 est le professeur Robert Vallerand de l'Université du Québec à Montréal. Le professeur Vallerand est l'un des psychologues sociaux les plus influents, notamment en ce qui concerne les processus motivationnels. His theoretical, methodological, and empirical contributions have strongly influenced several fields, such as those of intrinsic and extrinsic motivation and the concept of passion. Il a été président de plusieurs sociétés savantes et s'est mérité plusieurs prix nationaux et internationaux. Il a également formé de nombreux étudiants, maintenant professeurs universitaires, à travers le Canada et en Europe. Robert Vallerand.
Hi everybody, sorry I cannot be with you today. Je voudrais remercier la Société royale du Canada pour ce grand honneur. A look at past recipients really shows that it's a who's who of social sciences in Canada, so thanks again. I have a lot of people to thank for this award. It starts at home with the home team. Un grand merci à mon épouse Bouchra et toute la famille, les garçons, mes parents, mon frère André. I would like also to thank the different universities who've trained me. It started out at Université du Québec à Trois-Rivières, where I went there to play basketball, and when I left, I had a passion for psychology. And that took me to McGill, Université de Montréal, and then University of Waterloo. So thanks to all these great teachers and professors who really instill a passion for psychology that is quite active, quite important for me as of today. I'd like also to thank the different universities who took a chance on me and hired me. So University of Guelph in Ontario, and then later on University of McGill. But it's basically at Université du Québec à Montréal that I call home. Merci à l'UQAM, merci pour cette ouverture, pour cette créativité, pour ce dynamisme et surtout pour le soutien qui est toujours présent aujourd'hui, plusieurs années plus tard. It's at University of Quebec in Montreal that I founded the laboratoire de recherche sur le comportement social, where we did a lot of research. We're still doing quite a bit and we've trained a lot of students that were quite active in our research. I guess we have all the different levels, around 40 now, the university professors across Canada and Europe. So thanks to all of them. Thanks also to the different collaborators over the years, internationally, who contributed to our research. I'd like also to thank the different psychologists that in Quebec, in Canada, as well as internationally, who actually had confidence in me and selected me as a president of different societies. Ensemble, nous avons fait, je crois, de grandes choses, de choses importantes grâce à cette belle collaboration. So thanks to you all. In closing, I would like to encourage the social scientists of tomorrow to try to find your passion and then to follow your passion. And don't be shy trying to reach for excellence, and good things will happen. Once again, merci à la Société royale du Canada pour ce grand honneur. And I hope I'll be able to meet some of the past recipients at some point down the road. Merci et bon congrès.
La bourse commémorative Kitty Newman, financée en 2007 par J. Newman MRSC, is awarded to an outstanding emerging Canadian scholar in the field of philosophy. This award is given for excellence in the field, which is broadly understood to include philosophy of culture, religion, law, ethics, and logic, or any other branch of philosophy deemed appropriate by the committee. This year's recipient of the Kitty Newman Memorial Award is Professor Asim Sharif of the University of British Columbia. Asim Sharif is a professor, Canada 150 Research Chair, and leading scholar in moral philosophy. Ses travaux ont permis de mieux comprendre le rôle que la religion a joué dans la moralité humaine au fil du temps. More recent research has applied the insights of moral philosophy to modern social issues such as punishment and economic inequality, and to future challenges such as artificial intelligence and privacy. Asim Sharif.
Thank you, Gary. As Gary mentioned, the award is given to an emerging scholar in the field of philosophy. I run a psychology lab at the University of British Columbia here. So on learning about the award, I was tickled that I was being considered in the field of philosophy, and my grad students were tickled to learn that I was considered an emerging scholar still. But the award that we were considered for, it's a testament to the breadth of the work that we get to do. We're very pleased about that. It's like the breadth of work that Jay Newman, who endowed the award in honor of his mother, Kitty, got to do as well. And so thank you to them. Thank you to the Royal Society.
The Lorne Pierce Medal was established in 1926 and is awarded for an achievement of special significance and conspicuous merit in imaginative or critical literature written in either English or French. This year's recipient of the Lorne Pierce Medal is Professor Ruth Panofsky from Toronto Metropolitan University. Ruth Panofsky, chercheuse et poète primée, est une autorité de premier plan dans l'histoire de l'édition et de la paternité littéraire au Canada, ainsi que de la littérature juive canadienne. Her pioneering studies have uncovered the contributions of previously neglected writers and editors, publishers and agents, illuminating their role in shaping modern Canadian literary culture and exploring the intricate relationships between gender, culture, and tradition in their work and careers. Her scholarship has deepened our understanding of women's literary lives. Ruth Panofsky.
Thank you, Gary. So I've scribbled a few notes. Thanks to the RSC, of course, for this great honor. It is humbling. I'm grateful for its recognition of my work, and to Lorne Pierce, who was one of this country's premier editors and publishers. So it's fitting that I'm a scholar of publishing. I feel really connected. I've studied him myself. When I started writing about publishing and women, I could never have thought in my wildest dreams that it would take me to this stage. So thank you. Thank you to the special colleagues who have supported this nomination. I'm looking out at one right there. To TMU, my home institution, for their ongoing support of my research. To my colleagues in the Department of English who have known me for a very long time now. And I'm happy to be a part of a very congenial group of scholars. I want to thank my family, of course. A special thank you to them. They're proud of me, and I am just as proud of them. So thanks.
The McLaughlin Medal was established in 1978 by the RSC through the generosity of the R. Samuel McLaughlin Foundation. The medal is awarded for important research of sustained excellence in any branch of medical sciences. The winner of the McLaughlin Medal is Dr. Deborah Cook. Dr. Deborah Cook is a world-renowned clinician scientist in patient-centered critical care medicine. Ses essais cliniques randomisés ont permis d'élaborer les lignes directrices, réduisant ainsi le nombre de décès et d'invalidité due aux maladies graves dans le monde entier. As a distinguished professor at McMaster University and practicing critical care consultant at St. Joseph's Healthcare, Hamilton, Dr. Cook's science spans advanced technology, preventing complications and research ethics. Her end-of-life research has enhanced humanism in the intensive care unit. Deborah Cook.
Thank you so much. I'm incredibly humbled by this honor and thank everyone at the Royal Society of Canada for this recognition. I'm so blessed to have loving family and friends and incredibly supportive tutors, trainees, many colleagues from coast to coast. So this honor is really on behalf of the collective work. Critical care 35 years ago when I began was a very unusual place. We were looking after patients who were on life support, receiving basic and advanced life support. It's technologically intense. It's often noisy. A large group of interprofessional colleagues work in harmony to try to save lives. And when we were going to journal clubs, we were trying to read the evidence. It was the beginning of evidence-based medicine. We're looking for literature to help us practice in a more informed way. And we were taking studies from the laboratory, we were taking animal data, and we knew we had to do better. So with colleagues from across the country and my bedside colleagues who are with us all the time, looking after critically ill patients, we said we need to form a national research group. And rather than compete, let's collaborate. And we did so. The Canadian Critical Care Trials Group was born, and we studied real people with real problems, not so much proteins and pathways. And this honor is a reflection of how the Canadian community took a sort of cottage industry research arena and made it a real Canadian-led academic force globally. So thank you so much.
Congratulations. With support from the Canadian National Committee for the International Union of Theoretical and Applied Mechanics in 2022, the RSD established the Michael P. Paidousis Medal in Applied Mechanics in recognition of Professor Michael P. Paidousis. Cette médaille reconnaît les contributions individuelles exceptionnelles à la recherche, l'éducation et le leadership en mécanique. The winner of the Michael P. Paidousis Medal is Professor Yonggang Huang of Northwestern University. Professor Huang is a pioneer for two transformative technologies, stretchable electronics and deterministic 3D assembly. Sa vision a jeté les bases scientifiques dans ces domaines, ce qui a conduit à d'importantes implications dans l'électronique et la médecine bio-intégrée, bio-inspirée. The profound impact he has had on engineering science has led to his election as a member of the U.S. National Academy of Engineering, National Academy of Sciences, and a foreign member of the Royal Society. Yonggang Huang. The Miroslav Romanowski Medal was established in 1994 at the generous bequest of the estate of internationally renowned metrologist Miroslav Romanowski. The medal is awarded for significant contributions to the resolution of scientific aspects of environmental problems or for important improvements to the quality of an ecosystem in all aspects, terrestrial, atmospheric, and aqueous, brought about by scientific means. An annual lecture series for the award recipient is also associated with the medal. Le gagnant de la médaille Romanowski en 2024 est le professeur Catherine Mulligan de the University of Concordia. Dr. Catherine Mulligan, Concordia University, is an internationally recognized expert in the decontamination of water, soils, and sediments, and a pioneer of green remediation technologies. Elle est la directrice fondatrice de l'Institut Concordia de l'eau, de l'énergie et du système durable. Her fundamental and applied contributions to research and her service to the engineering profession have been recognized with prestigious awards, including the Fellowship of the Royal Society of Canada. Catherine Mulligan.
So thank you very much for you for the introduction and for the Royal Society. I also want to thank the estate of the Miroslav Romanowski Medal for providing this medal. I think in this environmental area, I'm very happy that and very honored to be representing the environmental area, and that this is being for the support of environmental research and so on. We have so much work to do still in the environmental area for water pollution, for soil, and so on. And it touches many of the communities that still don't have proper water and so on, such as Indigenous communities. So I have much work to do. So even though I'm here right now, hopefully I'll still be around to make more progress in these areas. So I would like to thank very much, of course, the nominators who helped to put together this package so that I was able to get this award, the support for my university, all of the support letters that I've got for this award, my collaborators, of course, over the years, that of course the work would not have been done without them, and also in particular with the graduate students as well, that the work would not have gotten done exactly without them as well. So I mean, as one of the other previous award winners mentioned about, it's very nice to see them grow from virtually knowing nothing to being able to now leading the way in other as a professor in another university, or else in engineering companies, and they're progressing in their work. So I also want to thank my friends as well, and particularly those who look after my little kitties when I go traveling and make sure that my kitties don't hate me by the time I go back home. And also, the different friends at Innovation 7, the collaborators, all the people that I've worked with over the years, the admin staff, the technical staff at the university. They're also a tremendous support through the way. I've been at Concordia University now for 25 years, so I appreciate all of the assistance through the years that I've been working there. And lastly, I wanted to acknowledge my supervisor, who I did my work with for the PhD. We've just completed our 3rd edition of our book on geoenvironmental sustainability. He's now 95 years old, so he's really quite an inspiration. He got me involved in doing the professional associations, working with the CSE, CGS, and all of these other organizations, got me going to the conferences, meeting people, and so on. And then some of them are still my really, really good collaborators at this point. So thank you to everybody. I appreciate it.
The Rutherford memorial medals were established in 1980 by the RSC in memory of Lord Rutherford of Nelson. The medals are awarded for outstanding research during the formative stage of a career en tout domaine de la physique et de la chimie. The winner of the 2024 Rutherford Memorial Medal in Chemistry is Dr. Rylan Lundgren of the University of Alberta. Ryan Lundgren is an internationally recognized expert in the fields of chemical synthesis and catalysis. Through detailed mechanistic investigations, his research provides fundamental insights into how abundant feedstock molecules can be converted into high-value products by the loss and recapture of CO2. Ces concepts permettent de mettre au point de nouveaux procédés chimiques pour la préparation contrôlée de molécules ayant une structure tridimensionnelle précise et pour le marquage isotopique de médicaments et de composés bioactifs à un stade avancé. Ryan Lundgren.
I'm Rylan Lundgren. I'm a professor in the Department of Chemistry at the University of Alberta. I'm an organic chemist that's interested in catalysis and reactivity, so making and breaking molecules. One of the interests in our group involves the reaction of molecules with CO2 or molecules that already have that CO2 unit embedded in them. So how we can make and break those bonds in ways that are sometimes unexpected or to make new molecules that have higher value. I think it's inspiring to be able to go in the lab and interact with students and discovering new or unknown and unexpected things. Even if that only happens a small fraction of the time, I think it's still very exciting. Well, I'm honored to have received the Rutherford Medal in Chemistry. It was a surprise and really deeply honored and appreciative of the recognition that comes with this award.
The winner of the Rutherford Memorial Medal in Physics is Dr. René Hlojek of the University of Toronto. René, René Hlojek, David A. Dunlap Department of Astronomy and Astrophysics and the Dunlap Institute, University of Toronto, is one of the world's leading young cosmologists. Ses analyses expérimentales et théoriques du fond diffus cosmologique et de la distribution de la matière et des galaxies dans l'univers à grande échelle éclairent la nature de la matière noire et de l'énergie noire. She studies the cosmos from its first rapid expansion to its eventual accelerated expanding state end. She also applies her statistical tools, methods, across disciplines to answer questions in neuroscience and biology. René Hlojek.
Thank you so much. Merci que vous me donnez ce prix et de reconnaître ma bourse. Je suis tellement privilégiée d'avoir ce métier. It is a real privilege to accept this medal. I have the most amazing job in the world. I'm sorry to everyone out there. I get to ask really big questions about the universe. What is it made of? How is it changing with time? How did it all start? What is its end? Why does the universe appear to be so flat in 3 dimensions? And what is driving the acceleration of the cosmos? Using telescopes high in the deserts of northern Chile and with a team of fabulous scientists across the globe, I actually get to answer those questions as well as ask them. Applying for awards and membership to storied institutions like the Royal Society of Canada is often an exercise in patience and tenacity, and so is the study of observational cosmology. I sometimes think that the universe really has just outsmarted us, that I will never understand how she works, that she will always elude us, and then we find another breakthrough or a piece of the puzzle. But it's this search and this journey that really drives my passion, not the eureka moments, because there are so few of them. It's really the passion to keep going that keeps me awake at night. From my mom encouraging me as a very young child to do something I think she thought was not even a real job, like astrophysics, to my students and colleagues in the Dunlap Institute and the Department of Astronomy at the University of Toronto, who challenged me to communicate clearly, to push me harder, and to build a community of people who love science. I work, as I said, in large collaborations of scientists and students, and this would not be possible without them and their scholarship. Thank you finally to the University of Toronto for giving me confidence as a researcher and allowing me to take risks, and taking a bit of a risk on me too. I feel valued and challenged, and I hope this is the beginning of many great things. Thank you.
Le prix Ursula Franklin en études du genre a été créé en 1999 en reconnaissance d'une contribution importante dans le domaine des sciences sociales ou humaines à notre compréhension des questions liées au genre. The 2024 winner of the Ursula Franklin Award for Gender Studies is Professor Rianne Mann. Rianne Mahons of Carleton University, her theoretically informed empirical research has broad international influence. Elle est la plus grande chercheuse féministe du Canada et compare les conséquences dans des choix politiques en matière de garde d'enfants, de travail domestique et de migration des femmes, en évaluant si les politiques sociales au Canada, en Europe, en Asie ou en Amérique latine font reculer ou progresser l'inégalité et les inégalités entre les genres. Her analysis, from the local to the international, informed the Academy while also sought after and influential in the world of practice. Rianne Mahon.
I'm deeply honored with this to be the 2024 Ursula Franklin Award winner. Ursula Franklin was not only a great scientist, but she was a lifelong advocate for women's equality and for world peace. So I'd like to thank my anonymous referees who helped me get to this position, but I particularly want to thank my dear friend and colleague Jane Jensen, who actually headed the nomination, for two reasons, because she did that for me, but also because many years ago, she was the one who helped me translate my ideals, my feminist ideals, into a very rewarding research program. So thank you, Jane. Also, over the years, colleagues at Carleton and at more recently at the Wolseley School in Waterloo have provided a rich and fertile environment which has helped to nurture my work. And without that, I wouldn't be where I am today either. I also, of course, want to thank my family, my husband, Rob Ryan, and my daughter, Kelly, who's an Olympian in fencing. But I want to end with something really important. I found a quotation from the 2006 publication of Ursula Franklin's various kinds of speeches and so on, and I want to give it to you. It's very short. She asked the question in the prelude, how can one live and work in the here and now as a pacifist and help to structure a world in which violence, oppression, and war diminish, and cooperation, equality, and justice rise? And her answer was pretty simple but important, which was to follow the maps of pacifism and feminism. And I think those words are as relevant today as they were back then. Thank you.
L'Institut sur la gouvernance d'organisations privées et publiques, en collaboration avec la SRC, a établi la médaille Yvon à l'air pour honorer la contribution exemplaire de la promotion d'une saine gouvernance au niveau des organisations privées et publiques de toute taille. The winner of the 2024 Yvon Allaire Medal is Dr. Valerie Napoleon of University of Victoria.
So as with all of us, I'm here because of the work and support of countless peoples, and including family. So I would like to invite each of you to just take a moment and let's reimagine Canada. Let's imagine a Canada where every Indigenous legal order has been rebuilt, they're functioning, they're healthy, they're doing the work of law in enabling people to be lawful and in enabling people to manage all the collective and messy aspects of their lives. What would the conversations look like if that were possible? So that's the work that we're undertaking, is to do that rebuilding. And our legal order, just so you can see the thinking behind it, reflects how its citizens understand themselves and their world, their place in the universe, their relationships with others, including non-human life forms. So this is the work. So why does this matter? Let's take a moment and look around the rest of the world. So we desperately need productive engagements with each other about the complexities of our lives. We need to have critical conversations about life and the complicated business of living together. In her amazing book, At a Loss for Words, Carol Off argues that the simplistic and the flattened and the dichotomous forms of communication that now passes as conversations is not based on intellect, but rather dangerously based on emotion. According to Off, when we lose our words, we lose the ideas, we lose the concepts and the thinking that we so desperately need for humanity. No one on this planet, including Indigenous peoples, are immune or isolated from the dynamics that have created massive inequities, the climate crises, incivility, and gendered violence. So let's start some conversations. Let's talk about law and why it matters. And let's build our collective public intellectual life. And most important, let's find the joy and the poetry in each other, because despondent and depressed people don't create change.
Finalement, nous accueillons certains gagnants du prix Rosalie Soberman-Abella, créé en 2022 en reconnaissance de la carrière exceptionnelle de la juge Abella, une initiatrice de changement célébré pour ses contributions intellectuelles visionnaires et son engagement de toute une vie à promouvoir l'égalité et l'équité dans la société canadienne et au-delà. The Justice Rosalie Silberman Abella Prize in the amount of $1,000 will be presented annually to a graduating law student in each of the law schools in Canada who is most likely to positively influence equity and social justice in Canada or globally upon graduation. Samhar Abraha. Samhar Abraha, a distinguished law student at the University of Calgary, has earned numerous awards and held various leadership roles. Elle a contribué de manière significative à l'examen et à la résolution des problèmes sociaux et relatifs aux droits de la personne auxquels sont confrontés les Noirs et les minorités. She founded the Violet King Engaged Scholar Award, expanded the African Studies program, and established sustainable OERs. Additionally, Abraha was instrumental in coordinating the inaugural Black celebration to honor the outstanding Black students and address systemic issues. Samhar Abraha.
Thank you so much to the Royal Society of Canada for this award. It's an honor and a privilege to be selected or to be chosen for this award. The legacy of Justice Abella has always been an inspiration for myself, especially coming from refugee camps, experienced so much struggles, yet she was able to bring justice and bring new perspective in social activism and justice, digital activism in the sphere. I hope I can live up to her legacy, and I will just say there is a nice documentary about her work and even her identity, personality. It's called The Supreme Life of Justice Abella. I hope like everybody in this room can watch it and get inspired the way I got inspired. So thank you so much for this honor. Appreciate it.
Brooke Granowski. Brooke Granowski is a graduate of Western University's Faculty of Law. Pendant ses études de droit, elle a été assistante de recherche, mentor pour ses pairs, conférencière en éducation juridique publique, assistante sociale pour les étudiants et présidente du club de droit pénal, tout en s'intéressant à des questions juridiques progressistes. She looks forward to articling with MAG Constitutional Law Branch. Brooke Granowski.
Thank you so much for this award. It's an honor to be in such excellent company. My goal in going to law school was to build the skills to make a positive impact on society, so being encouraged by this group to continue pursuing that goal really means a lot. Thank you.
Brooklyn Malik. Brooklyn Malik, during her time at the University of Victoria, she volunteered and worked as a program coordinator with Pro Bono Students Canada. Working with PBSC lui a permis de poursuivre son travail de défense des droits des personnes LGBTQIA2S+, et de soutenir une plus grande partie de sa communauté. Brooklyn Malik.
Thank you all, and thank you so much to the Royal Society. I'm incredibly honored to be recognized alongside so many accomplished and dedicated people. Community involvement and giving back have been a huge part of my life since I was 13 years old and was volunteering at my hometown's hospital, which at the time was the largest medical center in the unhealthiest health region in the country. So I'd like to start by thanking the Prince Albert Parkland Health Region's Volunteer Services Department for showing me the value in helping marginalized people in ways that weren't always glamorous. The experience, I'm sorry, I'm a very sensitive person, so, but the experience changed my life forever, and it's guided the choices I've made ever since. I'd like to thank the University of Victoria Faculty of Law for providing me with so many opportunities to continue that kind of work, from helping trans folks change their name and gender marker on identifying documents, to doing outreach with local Indigenous communities, to volunteering on a free family law helpline, and as mentioned before, coordinating a volunteer program to provide free legal information and support to the Victoria community and beyond. Of course, I'd like to thank my parents for teaching me the value of giving back, and the importance of caring for others, for supporting me, and for sacrificing so much of their time so I could volunteer mine. And I'd like to thank my fiance, Eric, for his continued support and for all of the reassurance he's given me when I felt that I couldn't make a difference. I'd also like to thank my sister and, of course, all the folks at UVic who chose to nominate me. I couldn't be here without the support of all of you, and I'm just so incredibly honored, so thank you so much.
Melinda Mock. Melinda Mock is proudly Red River Métis with community and family ties to Winnipeg and Manitoba's Interlake. She sits on the Indigenous Advisory Council of the Federation of Law Societies of Canada and sat as president of the National Indigenous Law Students Association for the 2022-2023 term. Melinda est une mère impliquée de 5 enfants et a eu une longue carrière en tant que parajuriste avant et pendant ses études de droit. She plans to spend her legal career assisting Indigenous communities in advancement through economic development projects. Melinda Mock.
Melinda Mock de Schneekashon. Mes noms de famille, c'est les Thomas, Hallett, Pruden, Stodgel, Pili, Larocque, Delorme, Hogue, Hamlin, Winnipeg, Doshin, Red River, Nikiwan, Alma Chief, Niwe. So I'm Melinda. I'm a Michif woman from Red River in Winnipeg, Manitoba, and in the fashion of my people, I've introduced myself to you by telling you my family names. I'd like to first start by thanking our Indigenous hosts of these shared unceded territories of the Musqueam, Squamish, and the Tsleil-Waututh nations. Now, the phenomenal person behind this award, Justice Rosalia Silberman Abella, she began her life rising up from displacement and the attempted erasure of her people. Grounding herself in Canadian law, she represents a beacon of strength and hope for those who are displaced, for women, for minority groups, and for those who seek a career alongside motherhood. Myself, coming from a place as an Indigenous mother whose family fought erasure and displacement, I can only look at Justice Abella as a supreme example. Now, unfortunately, I simply cannot speak of equity and justice without mentioning another first, who fought to clear pathways for others like me, the late Honorable Justice Murray Sinclair. Thanks to the firm reconciliation efforts of my university, the University of Manitoba, I was absolutely honored to have Justice Murray Sinclair as elder in residence during my time at Robson Hall. To sit and listen to his wisdom and insights, I can only tell you, were absolutely transformative. While the world will never have another Justice Murray Sinclair, his influence and his impact will last forever, hopefully in people like myself. Thank you to my family, to the Royal Society of Canada, to the Red River Métis Nation, to my firm, MLT Aikens, for supporting me during this time, to my friends and family. I now consider them family at Robson Hall and at the University of Manitoba. Go Bisons. Miigwech.
Sarika Navaranathan. Sarika Navaranathan, valedictorian of her graduating class, held leadership positions with the University Law Society and Pro Bono Students Canada, and founded the Windsor Law Tamil Students Association. Elle a reçu de nombreux prix pour son travail en matière de droit international, de justice sociale et de leadership à l'intérieur et à l'extérieur de l'école. She is also a singer who is passionate about the arts and community building. Sarika Navaranathan.
Thank you so much to the Royal Society of Canada for this honor. What pushed me to study law in the first place was the experiences of my family and the Tamil community as they escaped the Tamil genocide in Sri Lanka. And it was those experiences with my family in community, whether it was as an artist, as a volunteer, or as an advocate, that really shaped my worldview and continue to influence how I see society around me. So my first thank you goes to my family, my friends, and my community. Windsor Law was truly a revolutionary space for me that allowed me to meet so many amazing colleagues and peers, be exposed to so much diverse scholarship, and really understand the connections between the struggles that so many of our communities experience in isolation from one another. And that lesson in solidarity building is something I know I'm going to carry forever. So my next thank you certainly goes to the Windsor University's Faculty of Law and the amazing professors, peers, friends, and colleagues that I got to interact with. Now, I would be remiss to stand here and receive an award for my social justice and advocacy work. I'd be remiss to accept this award without mentioning that many of my colleagues across the country, and certainly in Ontario, have been silenced and have been reprimanded academically. They've been reprimanded professionally for stances that they've taken to advance social justice, particularly when it comes to advocating for Palestinian lives. I would similarly be remiss if I stood here and I didn't acknowledge that Palestinian scholarship across disciplines, Palestinian educational institutions have been targeted by Israeli forces in the violence that's occurring against Palestinians now, with the backing of the Canadian government and Canadian public institutions. And I say this now, and I put it to you all here today, because this award isn't just a recognition of the work that me and my friends have done in our time in law school. I see it as a commitment to the future and the role that we play as Canadian lawyers and Canadian advocates in furthering social justice and equity in our communities. So I do hope that over the course of my career that I've just begun as an articling student at Morrison Watts Hurtado, that I will be able to carry that forward and truly work across communities and use this privilege that I have as a law student to further social justice and equity in Canada. So I would like to thank the Royal Society of Canada for this recognition at this time. Thank you so much.
Nisha Prasad. Nisha Prasad is currently articling at BD&P in Calgary. Nisha has always been passionate about promoting access to justice and access to student opportunities through community involvement. Elle a notamment défendu les intérêts des étudiants en siégeant à l'Association des étudiants en droit, en faisant du bénévolat auprès de Pro Bono Students Canada et en menant des recherches au sein de la communauté. She is excited to continue her active community involvement within her practice as a future lawyer. Nisha Prasad.
Thank you so much for this honor. A big thank you to the Royal Society of Canada and to the University of Saskatchewan for nominating me. A big reason for why I went into law school is I started my career as a high school teacher. As a high school teacher, I saw the lives of my students, I saw the lives of my community, and I saw many huge gaps that I wanted to be part of helping to fix. And so continuing to work with some of my students that I taught in the past to help build some of the gaps that we see across all spheres of the community and in the world at large. I am very, very grateful that I was able to have the mentorship and the support of all of my classmates, my faculty, my family, my friends, to help build that into my practice, starting as a law student at U of S, and then to continue to do that at my firm at BD&P. So today I just wanted to really thank the people who helped me get there, so some of my friends who are actually in the crowd today, my family, the University of Saskatchewan faculty and College of Law, my mentors in my teaching field who I still continue to talk to, my students who truly have informed me, because without them I wouldn't have seen the world the way that I do and have the motivation to continue to do things, and again my firm for having me be here today as well. Thank you so much to everybody for all the work that you're doing as well. A big congratulations to everyone today. Thank you.
Kyla Young. Kyla Young graduated with a specialization in health law and policy. She resurrected the Halifax branch of the Women's Legal Education and Action Fund, championing reproductive rights and access to healthcare. Elle a également siégé au comité exécutif de la Dalhousie Feminist Legal Association et a fait du bénévolat pour la Elizabeth Fry Society. Kyla Young.
Thank you so much to the Royal Society of Canada for this award. I also want to thank Dean Harding at the Schulich School of Law for the nomination, also the other faculty and students who allowed me the opportunities that I've done to contribute to social justice. Also Kat Doig, who wrote the nomination for this award, and the rest of my support system, some of whom are here, including Kat, Lucas, Kendall, and my partner Nick. I'm so grateful and incredibly honored to be among such impressive company, so thank you.
Please congratulate with me once again all our winners of the 2024 Justice Rosalie Silberman Abila Prize. Ladies and gentlemen, these awards are wonderful things. They bring to our attention, allow us to celebrate extraordinary achievements in various domains and highlight what has been done and what can be done. We've got another one coming up. That's what I want to tell you about now. So this is, you're hearing it first here, right now. It is a great pleasure for me to announce the creation of a new prize, the RSC Prize for Contribution to Indigenous Engagement. It'll be the first of its kind in the RSC. This prize will be awarded to First Nations, Inuit, and Métis members of the College of New Scholars, Artists, and Scientists of the RSC who have made outstanding contributions to their respective fields. Contributions include, but are not limited to, achievements in research, scholarship, advancement of Indigenous knowledge, and engagement with reconciliation. Recipients will be college members who have demonstrated visionary thinking that has resulted in significant advances to academia and society. In keeping with the broader awards portfolio and cycle of the RSC, nominations will be open in the autumn of 2025 for the inaugural award in 2026, and the prize will be awarded every 2 years. I'd like to also thank the staff of the RSC, including the RSC Director, Executive Director Darren Gilmore, and the entire Walter staff for their support in developing this, and of course our RSC President Alain Gagnon for his support of the initiative. Ladies and gentlemen, we are coming to the end. I have to say, it's been an extraordinary honor for me to be in your company today and to learn from you and to feel that I've participated in the hope and the opportunity and the possibilities that we all possess, and in the values of excellence and development and justice and equity that we all share. Thank you so much. Alors, chers invités, voilà qui termine notre cérémonie de cette année. Ladies and gentlemen, this now concludes this year's medal and award ceremony. We invite a round of applause once again in celebration of these outstanding individuals.